Morning everybody. I hope this video finds you happy and blessed and well, healthy and happy. Welcome to my video. Thank you for watching. It's a beautiful day here in Vanuatu in the South Pacific. Warm, sunny, you know what you'd expect in a tropical island. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this under 20 minutes, but it's just a quick update. And then I just want to clarify a couple of things about the ministry. I have my critics, both Christian and non-Christian, so I just want to clarify and clear up a couple of things about the ministry. So let's do the update first. I've got my notes here so I don't repeat myself. Ministry update. Prison, struggling. We probably haven't been in now for about 5 weeks. We get a different explanation every week. When we arrive, no, you can't come in, different explanation every week. So I can't put my finger on it. I know that we are a privilege for them. So our visitations are considered a privilege. Excuse me, if they've misbehaved, they then cut, privileges, which includes us. So, but we don't know. But we have a wonderful team. The ministry has a wonderful team of men that want to go into the prisons. Their heart is for those men in the prisons. So we're going to persevere, especially now. We're going to persevere to get back in. We're going to go there every week and arrive, and if we get rejected, we'll go back again. Especially now, because it's coming up to the holidays and to Christmas, and that's when these guys struggle. So we need to be there to give them the love of Christ, the encouragement and the hope and the joy that Christ brings during this time, to know that people, that they are loved and that people do care. You know, they've done things, they're getting punished for it, but that doesn't mean their life is over. So please pray for the prison ministry to get back into the prisons again. It's a regular thing, this, just by the way. We'll go in for a while and then we won't be able to go in, and then we can go in again, and then it's back and forth. Anyway, Matt Time is doing well. Eritap Matt Time is just doing extremely well. Duncan, Jack and Wilson are doing such a great job. You know, we have a minimum of probably 20 young guys there, minimum. Gets up to 25, 30 sometimes. I think 31 is the most we've had. It's just been, it's just phenomenal. It's been really, really great. Mama's Mat Time has started. Now, Mama's Mat Time is, Change to Life Ministries is essentially a prison ministry and a men's ministry. But now Janelle and her husband Stan have moved to Vanuatu. Now, I've known Stan and Janelle since 2019, I think, or 2018, I'm not sure. They came to Vanuatu on their honeymoon, and that's when I met them. And we've stayed in contact, and now they've moved here. And Janelle and a local lady by the name of Mama Lily, she's a wonderful, wonderful woman, Mama Lily. She runs a small orphanage, but they have started up a Mama's Mat Time for the mamas and their pickaninnies, or their kids. Once a week, it's a time of getting together, it's a time of prayer, it's a time of encouragement with the challenges that they face, a little bit of Bible study. It's just it's a bit of everything. These mamas face different challenges to what the men face, or the young guys face. So it's good that they can go somewhere where they know, one, they can speak freely, and two, they know they have, this is what God's done. How can I be encouraged about that? I can be encouraged by that. So it's awesome. Janelle and Mama Lily are doing wonderfully well. God is definitely working. As an example, there's a lady that's, I think they've had 3. They've either had 3 or 4, can't remember. But this lady, Susan, has been at the last 2. Now I go to it, I'm there, I play with the kids and just make sure everything, and if there's a question, you know, I can answer them. But I don't actually get involved, so I play with the kids in soccer and volleyball and all those funny little things. Which is actually it's a change, it's nice. Susan was born blind, she's an elderly lady. Her husband had his leg amputated. I'm not sure if it was a full leg or half a leg, but he went back to his island and he never came back. So Susan is now moved in with her brother, who is not working. But she's come to the last two Mama's Mat times. And last time, the last one, the ladies all got together and they got her some essential things like toilet paper and soap and a couple of other things that she needs. And now this week they're going to, which is what's today, Wednesday. So tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to actually do the fellowship at Susan's house, but the ladies are also going to get involved in the house. So I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do, but it's helping Susan, cleaning up and I don't know, whatever they're going to do. Now that's God working. To me, that is God working through the hearts of Mama Lily and Janelle. And I think it's going to take off that ministry. So if you could please pray for that ministry, for Janelle and Mama Lily, that they keep going strong, for Susan and Selena. Selena is also a lady that goes there. She's been to everyone. Her son passed away on Sunday in a car accident on another island. Stan and Janelle actually put her on a plane on Monday morning to go up to Santo. Thank you, Janelle and Stan. That's very generous of, it's a very kind and generous gesture that you did, so thank you. So if you could pray for those two ladies, Susan and Selena, and for Janelle and Mama Lily. They're doing an awesome job. Now, yeah, I mean, it's a prison ministry and a men's ministry, so to talk to Janelle and Mama Lily afterwards is to get a woman's perspective of life in Vanuatu, so that helps the men's ministry. So it's wonderful to be a part of it. So great job, ladies, and if you guys could pray for those ladies, please. Thank you. Right, all right, I'm going to, like I said, I've got my critics, and both Christian and non-Christian, so I just want to clear up a couple of things about the ministry. Now, the ministry in 2018 was started as a prison ministry, but it's grown to now include preventative ministry and out the gate ministry. So preventative ministry is what we call Yumi Storian, which is we share stories basically. It's my time with the young guys, aged from 10 through to early 20s. We do separate them, 10 to 15 and 16 upwards. These young guys do not have any guidance of a male figure or a male mentor in their lives. Generally, some of them do, but not all of them, and a high percentage of them don't. There's broken homes, there's abuse within the homes, there's alcohol abuse, there's physical abuse, there's marijuana abuse. There's a combination of all of them, including kava abuse. Kava is a local drink here, you can look it up, K-A-V-A. But you start kava on its own, if it's abused, it's not good, but on its own it's fine. But if you start mixing everything, then all hell breaks loose. So that's what they've got. So we are providing a male guidance in the choices that they make. So the challenges that they face and the choices they make through those challenges, obviously everything comes from a biblical perspective, but that's what it does. And now next year with Yumi Storian is going to take off. We have been approached by a number of people from a number of different areas, and we could have up to 10 centers next year. We've identified some leaders, potential leaders. We've started talking to them, and we will start up those ones. We'll start with the leadership training, and then starting up the Yumi Storian Fellowship. So that's exciting. That's really exciting about it. There's a need for it. And because the people that have approached us are from areas that are not good. You know, they're not affluent areas, they're not so good areas. So it's wonderful, and people recognize this. Even one has even come from an ex-inmate. So who wants to share his testimony with these young guys. Same as Duncan. You know, they want the young guys to make good choices, not the choices that they made to end up in prison. Which is a wonderful thing. It really is. So that's exciting news for next year. Then we've got Out the Gate. Then obviously we've got the prison ministry, and then we've got the Out the Gate ministry. Out the Gate ministry is guys that come out of prison, and these guys face different challenges, compared to before they went into prison, while they were in prison. Now they're facing different challenges. Reintegrating back into, their homes, their villages, even some of their churches reject them, which is ridiculous when you think that they were Christian churches, which not most of, some of them are not. But I'm not going to go into that now. And their communities, they're embarrassed, they're ashamed, they're guilty, they feel guilty, they show it, they can't express themselves confidently and freely. So we've got potentially a wonderful employment path for them next year. It's still an idea at the moment. We have been approached by a potential employer, but if we can do that, there's a process that they've got to go through, which includes financial literacy and a program on biblical men, being a biblical man, a true man of God, a true born-again man of God. So hopefully, and that gives us an opportunity not only to help them find work, but to share the gospel with them in an environment where we're studying the word. So please pray for that too. Sorry, I'm asking for lots of prayer, but yeah, if it happens, that'll be wonderful. I'm going to work hard at making that happen. Sorry, the dog's just moved the tripod. Sorry. It's not even my dog, it's the next door neighbour's dog. Okay. I must clarify that Change to Life Ministries is a registered charity here in Vanuatu. It's a legal entity here in Vanuatu. We're a Christian organisation. We are not a secular organisation or any other religion. We are a Christian organisation. Any of the programs that we run, whether it be financial literacy, sports, mat time, Yumi Story, and whatever it is, the gospel is at the forefront of everything. So if somebody is teaching somebody to sing or play the guitar, the gospel is involved somehow. And the gospel, it's the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's the work of Jesus, the finished work of Jesus, and the ministry of Jesus. It's this, the Word of God, is at the forefront of everything that we do. Now, God has given this platform to this ministry. He's given it to me and to my colleagues. And it might not be a big platform, but it's a platform that God has given us. And whatever is said in this is what we preach and teach. Nothing else. That's it. If it offends, good. If it doesn't offend, I'm not going to go down that road. But if God says it, we preach it and teach it. End of story. That's it. There is nothing to add to that. You know, I've been accused of, not accused, should I say? Accused is the wrong word. I'm a little bit different in the missionary sense, in that I don't look like a ministry. I've been called old-fashioned because of this, because I teach from this. I don't teach this new stuff that they've got out there. I teach what the Bible says, and I get called old-fashioned for it, which is fine. I've also, I'm not your normal missionary. I can't be an old-fashioned ministry because of the way I look. Shaved head, beard. My beard's actually looking respectable at the moment. I wear more jewelry than my wife. So be it. But my critics are mostly expats. There's no Nevans that criticize this ministry. Have I had opposition to this ministry here in Vanuatu? Yes, I have. I'm not going to go down that road. And the reasons why I've had that opposition, but I'm not going to go down that road. That's a different, that's opposition, that's a different story. And I'll give you an example. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, the criticism. I got challenged by an expat saying that I need to stay out of the New Vanuatu culture. New Vanuatu means citizen of Vanuatu, so the Vanuatu culture. And because I'm not a New Vanuatu, I'm an expat, I must stay out of the Vanuatu culture, New Van culture. So I said, okay, why? Well, if when a man marries a woman and he pays the bride price, the woman then becomes, or his wife then becomes his property, and if violence is part of the way they live, so be it. It's part of their culture. It's got nothing to do with you. And when I hear stuff like that, I go, you've got to be kidding me. No wonder the world's as messed up as it is. Okay. Now, it's not the first time that's happened. Because I'm an expat getting involved in the New Vanuatu culture. Now, I'm the type of person, I live in Vanuatu, I will immerse myself in the culture of Vanuatu. And whether I lived in Alaska or whether I lived in Mexico, I would immerse myself in the culture. I'd learn about the culture and I'd immerse myself in the culture. I'm a guest in the country. I want to know about the people of Vanuatu. Now, I'm going to read you something quickly because it's not the first time that I've been challenged on staying out of the culture. So this is a book that was brought out this year. Journey to Change. Male Champions of Change. Now, just to give you an idea, this was brought out this year. It's about domestic violence. Okay. He's the ex-Prime Minister. Chief Willie is President of the Chiefs Council of Vanuatu. This gentleman was the opposition leader. I think he's now the Minister of Climate Change. That's Johnny Marango. He's the Director of Correctional Services. So these are men, influential men within Vanuatu, that are talking up against domestic violence in this book. So that's Chief Willie. Chief Willie Gray Plasua. He's the President of the National Council of Chiefs. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Chief Willie. So I'm just going to read you what he says about domestic violence. Okay, so this is what he says. If you know custom well, you will recognize that it teaches respect, not violence. It is our chief's duty to help both men and women solve disputes and other issues. Please, Ni Vanuatu men, stop using our custom as an excuse for beating women. When you speak of custom, you speak of respect, peace, and unity. That comes from the Chief of Chiefs. So the excuse that is part of their custom or culture doesn't fly anymore. Yet, I've had experience with a man in prison who was in his 70s, who beat his wife with a pole, a metal pipe. He beat his wife to death because she didn't go to the market with his permission. She went without his permission. And he did it in the middle of the street. And he doesn't know what he's done wrong because his wife is his property. He paid for it. Now, that's a whole different thing that we can go down that road. But there's the Chief of Chiefs saying violence is not part of their custom. So I'm not wrong in getting involved in the New Vanuatu culture and being an advocate against domestic violence, sexual abuse, incest, child abuse, child rape, any sort of crime, to be honest. But those are Johnny Marango, who is the Director of Correctional Services, and I might be wrong in quoting this, but if I remember correctly, he said 60% of the inmates in Vanuatu are there for sexual crimes of some sort, or crimes against women and children. 60%. Now in prison, you get chiefs, and you get pastors, and you get elders, and you get teachers, and you get men of influence who are there for violent crimes against women and children. Okay, what gets me is the pastors and the elders. I'm a Christian. Okay, those men aren't. I don't care if they've got pastor in front of their name or elder. They are not Christians. Now, when it comes to being a Christian, we got what we call jailhouse. We got jailhouse religion. So men in prison and out of prison to make themselves look good, and it's because to make themselves look good, they actually say they're Christian, but they're not. It's the same as somebody calling themselves a Christian and they go to church once a week, and then behave like on the Monday to Saturday. You know, getting drunk, hitting women. You know, I always say to people, what's the difference between a man sitting in church and a man sitting in prison? I might have said this on here as well. The difference is that we know the crimes and the sins of the man in prison. We don't know the crimes and the sins of the man in church. For all you know, you could be sitting next to a wife beater or a pedophile. You don't know that. Are they Christians or aren't they? Now, this ministry is about making true, born-again Christian men, biblical men, men of God. True, born-again men of God that will not commit these crimes, that will not beat their wives, that will show respect for their wives and submit to their wives like the Bible tells us. As we are to submit to everybody. Ephesians 5:21. We don't. If I say to the guys in prison, who's a Christian, they'll all put their hands up. Okay, that's what I mean by jailhouse religion. Okay, when they get out of prison, you don't see them again. But we're not going to give up on them, just by the way, because we believe that every man can be non-violent and not a criminal. That's what the ministry is about. That's what Change to Life is about. And we are not here to please man. We don't intend offense. We are here to fulfill God's work and God's will for this ministry and for each of us as individuals. That's it. We're done. You know, it's a calling on my life, and it's a calling on the men and women that work for this ministry, that volunteer for this ministry, because God's put it on their hearts for the men and women of this country. But the gospel is at the forefront of everything that we do. So hopefully that's cleared up a lot. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. There was no intention. I do apologize. Even though offense is taken, it's never given. In today's world, you can't say anything without offending somebody. So it's not my intention to offend anybody. So thank you for listening. I've gone over time. I wanted to keep it under 20 minutes, but thank you. Please pray for the prison ministry to get back in, for Selena and Susan and the ladies' mat time, or the mamas' mat time. I can't remember what else I asked for. For the mat time ministry, really, basically. That we can get the leaders that we need up and trained to run these mat times. So thank you. Thank you for listening. I won't ramble on anymore. It's now close to 25 minutes. I love you guys. I want to say thank you to my staff, to Jack Wilson from Marine Reach, and Duncan from the centre at Aerotap and Olin. Janelle and Mama Lily, thank you. You guys are absolutely awesome. To my board members, you guys are awesome. Thank you for your encouragement. For my supporters, both prayerfully, financially, and those that just, Bob, how you doing? They know who they are. So thank you for listening this long. And remember, stay blessed, love and purpose. See you soon. Some exciting stuff happening next week, hopefully. Anyway, chat to you soon. Bye-bye.